Hey everybody, this is Jason Akers, Green Acres Pest Control, and I'm driving, and my son is going to film me. I want to talk about the importance of a termite report, or a WDO, or a WDI. This is something that you hear about if you're going to sell your home or if you're buying a home. People ask me, okay, so the reason that I'm doing this video is because I had a call yesterday from a customer. Now, I've done work for her. She's selling a house. She had carpenter ants, so I had to kill her carpenter ants for her in order to sell her house. Because carpenter ants, if you don't know, can do as much damage or sometimes even more damage than termites. But anyway, she had carpenter ants in her house. I went to her house, I killed her carpenter ants. She needed me, she's like, look, I'm gonna sell my house. I'd like to know what I'm in for. Can you check the house for termites and let me know if I have any so I know what I have to plan for? So I was like, sure, I'll do that. I never charge to look anyway. And so I went, I looked at the house and she didn't have any termites as far as in the house. She had a crawl space. I crawled under the house, no termites. No sign of termite damage at all. But when I went around the outside, she had built this addition on the back side of the house with 6x6 posts holding it up. Pressure treated, all pressure treated. But pressure treated lumber gets termites in it. A lot of people don't know this. They think if they build with pressure treated lumber that the termites can't eat the pressure treated lumber, but it's absolutely not true, because when you put pressure treated lumber in the ground, the pressure treatment that's in the wood eventually leaches all out of the wood, and the termites can eat the wood once it's gone. And what they do is they eat the bottoms off of the posts that you're putting in the ground. So and this is exactly what happened to her. So what happened was these posts were eaten. The bottoms were just really damaged from termites, and it's holding the room up. So it's like a breakfast nook kind of off the kitchen that they made, and it's holding the whole room up. I explained to her, I said, look, this is termite damage. This is not going to clear. You need to treat these pillars, at least these pillars. There's no termites on the rest of the house, but you need to treat these pillars because termites are eating the posts up. And so she's like, oh, okay, let's go ahead and do that. We'll schedule it out. I'll call you back after I talk to my husband and everything, and we'll go over it and we'll figure out what we need to do. I was like, okay. And I even told her about a company nearby that was closer to her that may even be able to give her a competitive bid that would give her a better price maybe even than me, because I have to travel to get to her house. It's like 40 minutes to get to her house, and if she wanted, she could maybe get a competitive bid, maybe even get a better price, because I know the company and I know they're reputable. And so anyway, a couple weeks go by and I never heard back from her. Went out and did another follow-up for the carpenter ants that we were already dealing with. And she told me, oh, yeah, I've been on the phone with this other company. They tell me that it's not termite damage, that it's water rot. It's termite damage. If you're a professional, you know what termite damage looks like. You're trained. I mean, you can't even get a license in the state of Virginia unless you know what termite damage looks like. It's on the test. You've got to understand what termite damage is. And if you're going to go in and do a termite inspection, you need to know what termite damage looks like. Now, I want to take a moment here to say, if you like the video, give me a thumbs up. If you really enjoyed my content, think about subscribing to my channel. Be sure to hit the notification bell so you can you know when I'm live. I'm going to do live streams. I've got a live stream planned because I bought some candied bugs, and I was going to eat bugs on stream and answer questions because I thought it would be entertaining. And I've got almost 7,000 subscribers now, and it's really mind-boggling, and I really appreciate everything you guys do for my channel. It helps me a lot, and you guys are just awesome. And I just thought it would be a good entertainment in order to give people the information they need, plus maybe a little bit of entertainment, and you can see me grimace while I eat crickets or whatever. But anyway, back to the subject. We want to talk about these termites. So the issue is, there are real estate agents out there that will sell your house for you. That's great. This lady is only interested in getting rid of the house. She doesn't want to have the house anymore. She's moving away. She's actually moving out of state. She's not going to be around. She's not worried about what happens once the house is not in her hands anymore. All right. And so she's willing to get the cheapest price possible, and she doesn't have to pay to treat the house for termites, which she really should do to sell the house. Then it's not her problem anymore. It's whoever buys the house, it's their problem. All right. This is a major issue, because what happens now, and this is to you termite guys too, if you're going out there and you're doing these cheap letters for real estate agents, you may never get another call. You may never hear from the person. You inspect the house, you go and do a cheap termite job or whatever, just so the real estate agent loves you, and maybe they tell their friends to call you that you can get a house sold. You have no problem with the termites. That's fine. That's great. If that's the way you want to, run your business, that's fine. I'm not telling you how to run your business. What I'm trying to explain is the danger. Now, you may go your whole life and never have somebody call about a problem with a letter that you've written. But it is grounds for a lawsuit if you sell a house and you don't know who's buying the house. If you go in and you do a termite letter and you clear a house and you say, okay, it's good to sell, no termites, water rot where there's termite damage, and then 6 months go down the road, the buyer of the home says, wait a minute here, there's horrible termite damage. They get somebody like me to come in and look at the termite damage, and I'm like, no, it's termite damage. It's definitely termite damage, because maybe they get me over there to do the pest control. I've been working on the ants already, and I said, oh yeah, I talked to her about it. I knew it was termite damage, but she got somebody else that would write a letter that would say it wasn't damage. So now you got an issue. The guy can sue you. You would have to pay to treat the house. You may even have to pay to repair the house, depending on the court. And when you go to a judge, and you're standing in front of a judge, and you have to explain to him, I didn't know it was termites. I thought it was water rot. Well, I'm driving right now. All right, the speed limit is 65 miles an hour. Okay? If I'm going 85 miles an hour and a police officer pulls me over, I'm guilty of speeding. I've sped, I'm guilty. It's my job to know what the speed limit is and to travel the speed limit safely. All right? Whether I know what the speed limit is or not, that's your job, because you're driving, that's your job. If you go to a house and you have to check it for termites, it's your job to know what termite damage looks like. It's your job to be able to differentiate between water rot and termites. So don't think you're going to be able to get out of court, but maybe your insurance will cover it. But I'll tell you what happened. Years ago, I know a guy, years ago, this may be 25, 30 years ago, he had an issue where he did a termite letter on a home. And the guy came out and he did the termite inspection, everything. He actually found active termites. He wrote on the letter that there was active termites in the house, and his suggestion was to treat the house, because there's a little box you check. In Virginia, there's a box you check. So if you find damage, you can recommend treatment. Then it's a little box, you check it. And he recommended treatment in the house. He gave the letter to the seller. That was a mistake, because what you should have done is give it to the closing attorney. But he gave it to the seller. The seller went in the house, took whited out the box, whited out all the stuff where he had put where there were termite damage, photocopied it, gave the photocopy to the selling agent. All right. He got sued because the letter said, it's got his signature on it, and it says there aren't any termites. He got sued, even though they could not bring the original copy to the table to show they only had the photocopy. It was cheaper for the judge to just go guilty and pay out of insurance, and he ended up having to pay a $500 deductible, and he didn't even get to do the termite treatment. Someone else came in and did the termite treatment. So understand, these things do happen, and it wasn't fair, but it happened. And it's not always fair, but it does happen. So the lesson learned from that story is, if you go do a termite letter, give it to the closing attorney. You know, keep a copy, keep the original copy. Don't ever give the hard copy to your, to the customer, because that's not really what it's for. It's for the closing. Now, a lot of that stuff comes out of closing anyway. They pay it out of the closing costs. All right, so I hope that if you get anything from this video, the moral of the story is just be honest. It's not worth. Let's say you were selling the house and the house fell through after. You've sold it, you've signed all your closing papers, everything goes to the bank, the termite guys come in, he's cleared your house even though he shouldn't have. Now, the buyer 6 months later finds all this damage. They're like, look, if we knew this damage was here, if we knew it was going to cost us $20, $30, $40, $50,000, $100,000 to fix this, because in her instance, they're probably going to have to jack up the house and replace these posts. That's expensive. All right. If the buyer now can say, if I had known this at the time, I would not have bought the house. There have been instances where homes have gone back to the seller, and now you're stuck with it again. And now you have to sell it again, and you still have to pay to fix the house. And you've gone through all this trouble. And this one lady, she's going to move out of state. She's going to have to deal with a house, possibly, that she's got to deal with over state lines. She's got to drive and travel and fly and all the stuff you have to do with selling a house if you're not in state. So just understand, it's not worth the trouble. It's not worth it. If you're going to sell the house, get rid of the house, but be honest. If y'all like the video, like I said, give me a thumbs up. Share me around. Show me to your friends. I really appreciate all you guys. All the donations and everything. It's mind-boggling how helpful you guys are. I use it to further the channel and help people out that need it. You guys are really great, and you give me a lot of reason to keep on making these videos. So I appreciate it. You guys have a real great day, and I'll see you later. Thanks.